How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the shed. Today is an exciting one. I don't know about you guys, but the number one mod for me when it comes to new bikes and just unleashing their potential and their characteristic and just the enjoyment level, it's got to be an exhaust. So today we're doing a stage 2 tune on the Honda CRF450RL. If you haven't seen the stage 1 video, I recommend going back and watching that. There's a bunch of stuff we've done for stage 1, and stage 2 is really just the cherry on top. So today we're talking about the exhaust system provided by S motorcycles, and what this is going to do is just eke out that last little bit of performance out of the 450 engine. So again, stage 1 we did a bunch of stuff, and for majority of the regions in the world, this bike is seriously restricted. There's been a lot of discussion about it in the previous video, just how restricted. I think North America is the only region that didn't get the full restriction on this bike. So it's a little bit different, but for everywhere else in the world, this thing was totally corked up. So we've done the stage 1, stage 2 now. I'm going to put the graph up here as far as the stock, the stage 1 and the stage 2. And the differences. So the stage 2 really just gets out a little bit more horsepower, but really what I want to get out of this, other than a little bit more horsepower, because hey, who doesn't want that? I want to unleash the characteristic of this bike. I want to hear that engine. The stock note isn't too bad, but with the stock exhaust here, it's also a catalytic converter built into it as well. So which means that rear silencer, even though it just looks like an exhaust, it's actually very heavy. So we're going to have a weight saving with this aftermarket exhaust. We're going to have a power boost. We're going to get a really good exhaust note out of that. So I'm going to set you guys up. I'm going to time lapse the thing of installing it. But before we do that, we're going to do a sound check just so I can compare it to how it sounds afterwards. So let's do that now. Alright guys, so there we have it. The exhaust is all fitted up. As you can see there, looking pretty nice and clean. I've had a look through all the passageways, the exhaust runs. There's good clearances all the way through. Up under this frame here, you can see it gets a bit close, but still plenty of clearance there. What's nice too is with the factory plastics, with that heat shield. On the inside of plastics, you can see there's a bit of a heat shield. Nice air gap there, so there's going to be no issues with any sort of melting or anything like that. Looks really good, I think. Here it is from the back as well. Plenty of clearance for that rear tyre to come up. Not anticipating any issues. I did have a quick look in here with this baffle. I called it a baffle early on. It's really not. It's really, that bolt there is really just holding in this exhaust tip. I wouldn't call that a baffle. I ran it quickly with and without it, and it makes no difference. It is quite loud, this exhaust, so I'll show you guys what it sounds like in just a sec, but as far as the fit and fitment, it's all looking really good. What's also nice too is I was able to use the OEM exhaust shield from the original exhaust, so that fits in nicely there. No melted pants or boots. I absolutely love it. It sounds mean as. It might be too loud, I don't know. One thing I will say, with the O2 sensor, you'll have to block that one off. I've spoken to S. My kit didn't come with it, but future kits will come with a block off for that O2 sensor. It does recommend with the stage 1 that you remove the O2 sensor. So to have that blocked off just makes a lot of sense if you're following the normal stage 1, stage 2 protocol. If you skip in the stage 1 and you just put an exhaust on, you will want to plug in your original O2 sensor there. The only other thing, I did have to go out and buy some high temp RTV because where these two exhausts, where the header and the slip-on meet and they slip together, there's no exhaust clamp. That's not how it works with this design, but you will need some silicone, and it didn't come with the kit. It may potentially in the future, so check out the link below to their website as to what the kit comes with. But I did have to go and purchase that myself just from the local super cheap auto. It was about 25 bucks, so keep that in mind. If you're planning to do this and you want to knock it out in one day and get riding, make sure you've got some high temp silicone ready to go. Nothing beats a new exhaust. I just absolutely love it. So let's get out there and see what this thing sounds like on the trail. We're in the Yarra Valley once again. We're going to try and do some four drive tracks. We're going to do a bit of on-road and see if I can squeeze in some single track as well. So let's go do it. Alrighty, so I hope this sound is coming through on this microphone because it sounds so good. A lot of people talk about throttle control as something you really have to learn with these bikes just because they're a big single, there's so much power in that bottom end and torque. I think my throttle control is pretty good. The Throttle Tamer definitely helps with that to smooth out that low end power. But I've got to say, my throttle discipline is woeful. It really just eggs you on. Listen to the pipe. Oh, how can you not? Very smooth on the D-cell. No unnecessary popping. Such a clean sound as well. And if you've ever had a cheap nasty exhaust, you'll know what I mean. Once you get on one that's done right, oh, they just sound so good. This is what this bike was lacking. Off the showroom floor, they're heavily restricted for a 450. Basically the power was gone. And then even once you get the power out of it, it doesn't find its voice until now. This is what it needed. This is the bike it wanted to be. So throttle discipline is my aim at the game today. I'm actually a little bit intimidated by this bike now. Like, it had plenty to go before, but just that extra bit now, and because it's got that bark on it, yeah, it's got a commanding presence now, that's for sure. It commands respect. And I'm going to try and find that happy medium of showing it respect, but also spanking it a bit too. Try and get the weight back, get that traction on the rear wheel happening. I've absolutely battered my rear tyre on the road like an idiot. I don't regret it, but I did do it. Alright, here we go. Uphill section here. This is actually a road too. It's absolutely mental. It's the weirdest sort of steep incline off camber road I've ever been up. Oh, there's just so much down low. Woo! So yeah, this is where the quality of the tune comes through. Steep decline, letting the engine do the work. You can hear the deceleration. Really smooth, really nice. So from the stage 1 to the stage 2 tune, you're looking at about 4 horsepower. I think it goes from about 42 to 46. Oy. And it pretty much makes power all the way through the rev range. It does feel quicker, but I mean, you're talking about 42 to 46, it's not a drastic leap.
but more power is more power, and I'm not going to complain about it. I know not everyone likes a loud exhaust, and if you don't like a loud exhaust, this may not be for you, but those that do, if you're like-minded, it just changes the whole riding experience. You can still get a good exhaust note out of a standard pipe, don't get me wrong, but apples and oranges, there's no comparison. This thing sounds wicked. I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day on a wicked machine, and now this is just that cherry on top. On heavy acceleration, it does have a real bark to it. It's quite loud. I don't feel it's too loud, but cruising, we're cruising 90 k's now in 6th gear. There's no tacho, so I can't say the RPM, but it's low. It doesn't really sound much louder over standard, to be honest. Just cruising, which is really nice. Oh, the throttle response is instant. Oh, the get up and go. There's so much there. You could just leave it in 6th gear. Let's try that actually. Let's just leave it in 6th and see how we go. Breaking loose in 6th. There's just so much power, so much torque. It's really quite linear too. If you look at that power curve, I'll chuck it up quickly now. If you look at that power curve and the way that it rolls off, very predictable. There's no nasty spikes, which again just speaks to the quality of the tune and all the mods we've done so far. Oh, slippery. And it does feel more responsive off the bottom end with this exhaust too, I must say. With that throttle tamer, it helps a bit. I couldn't imagine riding without it, with no throttle tamer. It really is a handful. There's so much on that bottom end, and it just wants to go. Not really a complaint, just an observation, but yeah, you sort of got to be on your toes a bit. There's a lot of talk on the, you know, on online communities from dirt bike riding about two-strokes sounding so good. And I admit, a two-stroke does sound wicked. I love them. In fact, I probably love them equally to a four-stroke. But I just don't think the four-strokes really get enough love for their exhaust note. It sounds so good to me. This is, yeah, just as good as a two-stroke. Not the same, but very good and equally as good in its own right. It just gets up to speed so easily. I mean, riding around, you only need about 20% throttle and you're already going too fast. Oh, that front wheel comes up so easy. Almost too easy. Like I said, I've been riding the CF Moto a lot lately. Oh, shit. So I forget how lively this thing is. Alright, I'm going to be quiet now so you can listen to the bike and I should focus. Can you believe this is a four-wheel drive track? Feels like a motocross track. right, while I catch my breath back, what an absolute animal. I mean, just have a look at it. It's absolutely wicked. My poor rear tyre. Nah, absolutely stoked with it. If you've got any interest on tapping into the potential of your 450RL, check out the links below. I'll put the stuff to Triple S Motorcycles, everything they have on offer. If you haven't looked at the stage 1 video, I suggest going back and checking that out. But man, what a handful. I really just got to take my time and get used to it again. Whew. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's just too much fun, honestly. I'm going to keep ripping it and ride safe and get after it. See ya.